Hi. So today we will be seeing the types of banks in India. How many banks are there and what are their implications for banking system. Before we actually go into the types of banks, we will look into the names of regulators who are available in the bank. The first one you are all aware, the Reserve Bank of India, and ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, IRDA, Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India, PFRDA, Pension Fund Regulatory Development Authority of India, SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India, and then last is National Housing Bank. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the 6 regulators in India. In financial transactions, that is more important. Briefly I will tell, RBI governs about the entire finances, forex trades, everything in India, including banks. ICAI is a chartered accountant of India, where the banks are asked to collect PAN for cash transactions of above 50,000 rupees. These guidelines are given by ICAI. IRDA takes care of the insurance business which is happening in India. This is inclusive of life and non-life also. Pension Fund Regulatory Development Authority, you are aware of what it is, pension funds. SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India, deals with NSE, BSE and all the trade which is happening on equities and other derivatives. National Housing Bank, the name itself is very clear, deals with the housing development in India. Under RBI, there are various banks. They are Public Sector Bank, Old Generation, Private Sector Bank, New Generation, Private Sector Bank, Foreign Banks, then you have cooperative banks. So these are the various types of bank we have. There is nothing called nationalized bank in India. What is the meaning of nationalized bank? Supposing I say public sector bank and private sector bank. Public sector bank means what? More than 50% of the shares will be with the government. So in case of private sector banks, more than 50% with private. So what is then nationalized bank? Nationalized bank meaning 100% of the shares with the government only. So Punjab and Sindh Bank was the last bank that came out of nationalization because it was given to the general public also. So if you say SBI is a public sector bank, no, SBI shares anybody can buy. So SBI is public sector bank, it's not a nationalized bank. So please understand the difference between nationalized bank and public sector bank. So nationalized bank meaning 100% of the ownership with the government. As of now, there is no bank in India like that. So what are the public sector banks? You are all aware. So we have SBI, PNB, Canara Bank. So like that, there are so many banks which is public sector bank. You can see the board public sector undertaking. You can see this in the name board of those banks. So that is called public sector bank. What is old generation private sector bank? So these banks are started more than 70-80 years ago with a share capital of just 5 lakhs. And then now it has been increased to 100 lakhs, which is 100 crores, sorry. And then these banks are very old with traditional banking system. The names of Karur Vysya Bank, South Indian Bank, then LVB was there earlier, now it is not there. So these are these types of banks, South Indian Bank and Cooperative Bank. These are types of banks where you have old generation bank. Then Catholic Syrian Bank is also will come in this, Catholic Syrian Bank, and then Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank. So these are the types of bank which will come under old generation. So what is new generation private sector bank? These started with 100 crore, then the capital is increased to 500 crore. So what are they? These types of banks: ICAI Bank, Axis Bank, HDFC Bank, and then Kotak Bank, Yes Bank, IDFC. So these types of banks are called new generation private sector banks. So what is foreign bank? A bank who's headquartered abroad, having a branch office in India. So that is called foreign banks. So these banks, you know, Citi, Deutsche, Standard Chartered Bank. So these are the various banks which are there operating in India under foreign banks. So cooperative banks, state level cooperative bank, district level cooperative bank, regional rural banks. This is called RRB. Regional. These are the types of banks we have. All these banks, public sector bank, up to this, they are called scheduled commercial bank. This is nothing but this is coming under second schedule of RBI. So these banks are listed under second schedule of RBI and hence it is called the scheduled commercial bank. The cooperative banks will not come under scheduled commercial bank. Okay, all these, what is common in all these banks? All these banks need to maintain CRR, which is 4%, and SLR, which is 18%. The detail of CRR and SLR we will see subsequently. Should these banks also need to maintain this? Yes. State level cooperative bank, district level cooperative bank will maintain these two with RBI. That means if you are giving 100% to the bank, so close to 22 rupees will be kept with RBI. So remaining, is it 78? Yeah. Remaining 78 rupees only is used towards lending purpose. So those details we will see later. So this is the broad guidelines about banks in India. I hope you enjoyed going through what are the types of banks we have in India. So more educational video on banking we will see later. Thank you very much for patiently watching. Please send it across to young bankers and commerce students who will get benefited with this information. Thank you very much for patiently watching. Bye.